All right, in the last video, we talked about the intersection of two sets, compound inequalities, when we use the word and. In this video, we're going to talk about the union of two sets where we use the word or. So again, a Venn diagram, the union represents everything in A as well as everything that's in B. So all of this, all of that. Okay, we use the word or. So we want to find the union. I have to take all of these. I have to take all of these. I don't have to count those twice. I don't have to write them twice. And then I have my 7. Everything in here as well as everything in here. So this would, if I were to say this using English, we would say A or B is how we would say it. Okay, so again, we're going to solve each inequality individually. Because they're joined with or, we are going to take, our answer is going to be every number that satisfies either one of them, aka the union. Again, we're going to draw 3 number lines. Again, you're going to want to line them up. Again, we're going to solve each one individually. Subtract 5, and we have x is less than 1. So we have x is greater than 3, or x is less than 1. Because it's or, I'm going to take all of this in my answer, and I'm also going to take all of this one in my answer. Now, notice that there was this gap in the middle between 2 different intervals. When we have this gap in the middle and we do interval notation, we have to write this interval. We have to write this interval separately. It's going to look like this. Our interval on the left is -infinity to 1. And then we're going to connect that with our union symbol. Remember, that looks like a U. And then I have to write the interval on the right. So here's my interval on the left. Union, my interval on the right. Okay. So that's what it would look like in interval notation. Or, that means the union. So we're going to add 2, divide by 3. It's a positive number, so I don't have to reverse the symbol. So we've got 5. I'm going to subtract 5, which means I'm going to shade in this direction. Okay? Remember, it's the union, it's or. So I have to take all of this interval, and I have to take all of this interval. So this one looks like this. This one has already been counted. And we don't have to, remember, we don't have to double count. Remember when we had the multiples? 1, 1, 1, 1? That's the same as just writing 1. So even though these numbers, 2, 1.5, 3/4, even though these are in this interval, we've already counted them when we did this shading. So we don't have to indicate it that we have it twice. I will have students ask me, well, don't I need this bracket on the 2? The answer to that is no. We only put brackets or parentheses at the end of the shading. And because this shading keeps on going until we get to our 5, we're going to put the bracket on the 5 and not on the 2. We don't put brackets or parentheses in the middle of the shading. They only go on the ends. So my answer in interval notation would look like that. All right. Is this the same? No, this is reversed. All right. So we have 3x is less than or equal to 15, or x is less than or equal to 5. This first one is the same. The second one is greater than or equal to. All right, so this time we go in this direction. Okay, so I need all of this interval. I need all of this interval. And we don't have any endpoints. Notice this keeps on going to the right. This one keeps on going to the left. We ended up shading the entire line. So our interval notation would be negative infinity to positive infinity. All right, an application problem. The top 5 U.S. trading partners are listed in the table. Amounts are in millions of dollars. And I'm going to have to move this, which is going to mess up my tablet. Okay. Okay. The set of countries to which exports were greater than $150,000, $1 million. And, okay, so we're looking for the overlap. So it has to satisfy both conditions, from which imports were less than 150. All right, so exports has to be greater than 150, and imports has to be less than 150 in order for us to count it. So if we look at Canada, export is greater, import is not less. Let's look at China. Export is not greater than 150. We look at Mexico. Export is greater than 150, but imports are not less than 150. Japan, exports are not greater than 150. Germany, exports are not greater than 150. Turns out there are no countries that satisfy both of these conditions. Answer would be the empty set. This time we're doing or. So we're going to take everything that satisfies this condition. We're also going to take everything that satisfies this condition. So exports have to be between 50 and 150. That would include this one, okay, China and Japan. China and Japan. Or imports greater than 300. That's this one, so these two. We already have China, so we don't have to write it a second time, but we don't have Canada yet. And it's a set, so we have to put it in braces.